Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Aisha Rashid Khan from Department Southern Business School, University of Southern Punjab, Multan. Today we are going to discuss the chapter 6, the impact of strategic HRM. And the learning objective of this chapter are as follows. Define strategic HRM and explain its link to organizational performance. Understand the assumptions behind human resource management contribution to business success. Number third, analyze strategic findings on human resource management performance linkage. Number fourth, identify practical lessons from organizations. Number fifth, apply conceptual and real-world examples to understand how strategic human resource management drives results. Let's start with the introduction to strategic human resource management, and the definition is strategic HRM is the process of aligning HR policies and practices with organizational strategies to achieve long-term goals, and the core aim is improve business performance through people, ensure employee well-being and motivation. Organizations across private, public and voluntary sectors must be business-like. In case of private, maximize profits. In case of public, deliver efficient services. In case of non-profits, achieve social goals, sustainability. And the conceptual example is that in a private bank, strategic HRM means hiring skilled relationship managers who directly impact profitability. In a government hospital, strategic HRM means ensuring staff training and patient care standards to improve service delivery. The assumption behind HRM impact, the foundation of strategic HRM rests on one assumption. People are the organization's key resource and performance depends upon them. If HR policies, for example, recruitment, training, performance management, are well designed and implemented, they can enhance motivation, improve skills and productivity, strengthen commitment and retention. And the practical example is that Google investment in training. Google provides extensive training programs, leadership development workshops and continuous learning platforms. This builds employee skills, confidence and adaptability, ensuring they can handle complex innovation products. Employee freedom, Google gives employees autonomy through initiatives like the famous 20% time, where employees can work on personal projects. This creates a sense of ownership, motivation and creativity. And the outcome is that innovation and high performance, because employees are both well trained, capable and empowered, free to experiment. They generate breakthrough ideas. For example, Gmail, Google Maps and maintain high productivity. Number third, the holy grail of HRM research, and the questions are, do HR practices positively impact organizational performance? And the more questions and the more important, how does this impact happen? That is the black box. Purcell et al. In 2003 call this the black box, the gap between HR policies, intentions and actual outcomes performance. Simply having HR policies doesn't guarantee success. Implementation, culture and leadership matter. And the example, a company decides to introduce a performance-based pay system where employees' salaries or bonuses are directly tied to their performance ratings. Intended Google, the company wants to motivate employees to work harder, be more productive and reward top performers fairly. And the problem is that if managers who conduct performance appraisals are biased, favoring certain employees, being unfair, or not evaluating objectively, then employees who perform well but receive low ratings will feel demotivated. Employees may begin to distrust management and the system. Instead of motivating performance, the policy will cause frustration, resentment, and disengagement. And the outcome is that the performance based pay policy fails because its implementation, biased appraisals, does not match its intended purpose, fair reward for performance. This shows that HR policies succeed only when they are applied fairly and transparently. Even a well designed strategy can fail if the execution is flawed. Research evidence on strategic HRM and performance, Arthur in 1990, 1992, and in 1994, study on US steel mills, and the findings: firms with high commitment HR systems had higher productivity and quality compared to control oriented firms. For example, steel companies that empowered workers perform better than those with tight control systems. Hustled in 1995 survey of 968 firms looked at high performance work practices, and the finding is that productivity equal to influenced by motivation, financial performance equal to influenced by skills plus motivation plus structure. For example, a firm combining skill training with clear reward systems sees profit growth. Hustlett and Beaker in 1996 created HR Systems Index, and the finding is that high adoption of HPWS higher firm performance, and the example firms with integrated HR policies, training, appraisals, and teamwork perform better than those with isolated initiatives. Patterson et al. In 1997 studied HR practices and organizational culture, and the findings: skills development and job design explained significant difference in productivity and profitability. For example, designing jobs with flexibility and variety increases employees' ownership. It boosts output. Guest et al. In 2000A and 2000B, UK surveys found a strong association between HR practices, employee attitudes, and workplace performance. For example, better appraisal and career development, higher employee satisfaction, and service quality in UK firms. Thompson in 2002, UK airspace industry, impact of HR practices like teamwork, job rotation, broad banding, and information sharing. And the finding is that success depends on the number of practices and employees coverage. For example, airspace firms with more employees covered under HR practices and performed better. West et al. In UK hospitals, finding is that HR practices focuses on skills, effort, and teamwork were linked to lower patient mortality rates. For example, hospitals with teamwork, training, and collaboration saved more lives. Guest et al. In 2003, and the sample consists of 366 UK companies, focus on investigating the link between HRM practices and organizational performance. And the finding is that there was some association between HRM practices like training, performance management, and employee involvement. And company performance, however, the results were not always consistent, meaning HRM doesn't automatically guarantee high performance in every case. And the practical lessons from research: number 1, commitment focused HR strategies outperform control focused strategies, meaning HR strategies that build trust, loyalty, and employee involvement. For example, giving autonomy, recognition, development opportunities lead to stronger performance compared to strategies that rely on close supervision, strict rules, and punishment. For example, a company offering career growth, opportunities, and open communication will see higher engagement than one that simply monitors attendance and enforce rigid procedures. Number 2, high performance work systems, better productivity and profits. And the meaning is that they are bundles of HR practices like selective hiring, extensive training, teamwork, performance-based rewards that together create a highly skilled, motivated, and adaptable workforce. For example, Toyota's lean production system uses teamwork, skill development, and employee involvement to achieve efficiency and quality, boosting both productivity and profitability. Number 3, employee skills plus motivation plus job design are critical, meaning that performance depends not just on having skilled employees but also ensuring they are motivated and that their jobs are well structured. For example, a software engineer may be highly skilled, but if their role is repetitive, poor job design, or they lack motivation due to poor rewards, performance will suffer. HR practices must be integrated and widespread, not piecemeal, meaning single HR initiative like training alone won't create major impact. Practices must reinforce each other and be applied consistently across the organization. For example, if a company trains employees but doesn't give them decision-making power or fair rewards, the training investment won't translate into better performance. Context matters. What works in steel may differ in healthcare or IT, meaning HR practices are not one size fits all. The industry, culture, and organizational goal influence what works best. For example, in IT, flexible work and innovation focused rewards may be critical, while in healthcare, teamwork, safety, and ethical training may be more important. Implementation is key. Policies on paper doesn't work unless managers deliver them fairly, and the meaning is that even the best HR policies fail if managers don't apply them properly or fairly. For example, if a company has a performance-based pay system but managers show favoritism in evaluations, employee will lose trust and the system will backfire. And the conceptual and practical example, a firm implements flexible working hours. If managers allow real flexibility, employees are motivated. Higher productivity, if managers resist, employees feel cheated, no positive outcome. And the practical example is that Southwest Airlines US practice strong commitment focused HR employee well-being, empowerment, teamwork, and recognition. And the lesson is that commitment focused HR strategies outperform control focused ones. And the result is that despite lower ticket prices, Southwest consistently achieved industry-leading profitability and customer satisfaction. Employee loyalty and motivation directly translated into higher performance. And another example, Toyota Japan practice adoption of high performance work systems through team based production, continuous training and employee involvement in decision making, and the lesson is that HPWS leads to higher productivity and profit, and the result is that Toyota become famous for efficiency and quality with fewer defects, boosting its global competitiveness. And number third, Pakistan textile industry practice firms investing in training, safety protocols and fair HR systems outperform those with weak HR practices, and the lesson is that employee skills, motivation and job designs are critical plus context matters, and the result is that firms with stronger HR practices enjoy higher exports, better compliance with international standards and reduce employee turnover, giving them an edge in a highly competitive global market. And the conclusion is that strategic HRM is not just about policies but about how they are lived out in practice. Research shows a positive link between HRM and performance, but the link is not automatic. The black box reminds us that outcomes depend on implementation, leadership and organizational culture. Organization must design integrative HR strategies that enhance skills, motivation and commitment. And the discussion questions for the student is that why is the black box between HR practices and performance outcomes so important? Which HR practices are most critical in your view for improving performance? Why? Can you think of an organization where HR policies exist but fail due to poor implementation? And the number fourth question is how can organizations balance employees' well-being with business performance goals? Thank you so much.